As some of you might know, I live in Wichita, Kansas, and I coach track at Wichita State University. So I thought this might be a nice, unbiased video traveling between KU and K-State, kind of the big rivalry in the state of Kansas, you know. And a lot of people travel I-70 if they're going to athletic events between the two schools. And so I thought in this video, I would go from Lawrence to Manhattan, KU to K-State, but on the back roads. And maybe if you're ever making that trip, it might be kind of interesting to take a little detour, whether you're going there or coming back, and check it out. So I'm starting here in Lawrence. If you can't tell, there's a historic site behind me. It's Allen Fieldhouse. KU basketball is certainly known for their tradition, and so I thought this would be an appropriate place to start. We're gonna get out our map, and we're just going to look for some dots on the map and go check them out, and who knows where we'll go. I'm actually not sure where we're going to go yet, but who knows where we're going to go and what we're going to find. I am wearing my Wichita State Shockers t-shirt today, so no one will be getting me confused for being a fan of either one. Respect to all the KU and K-State fans that might be watching. I come up here a lot for different events, being a coach, and always a fun time. There's some really cool places not far from either one of these towns. So let's head out on the road and see what we can find between KU and K-State. Okay, let's get going. I've got my Kansas Atlas and Gazetteer map book, and let's take a look and see what the options are. So we're starting here in Lawrence. Now the green highlighter that I used right there, that was when I did my trip on the Oregon Trail. So we're not gonna try to go along that same path. But I've decided I'm gonna go north. And so I'm gonna head up this way. There's Prairie Lake, which kind of looks interesting. So let's, on the first part of the trip, we're gonna start in Lawrence, and then let's head up to Oskaloosa. I've never been there before, and see, there's other little dots maybe along the way. So we'll check back in when we get to Oskaloosa. Pretty quick here, we found something, like I would be looking for. Buck Creek had a post office for only 6 years, from 1899 to 1905. And near where the dot on the map is, there's this old school, and it has a nice sign in the front that tells you exactly, the history of the school. And now it's turned into a community hall. Actually, I was looking through the windows and there was somebody in there. So that was kind of funny. I think I scared him. Before we get to our next town, there's a historical marker about the Kansas Indians, and obviously that's where the state of Kansas got its name. And then we roll into Williamstown. This is an unincorporated community, started in 1865. It never really grew to be very big. The railroad established the town of Prairie 3 miles to the west, and so that hindered the growth of Williamstown. And then also they had a tornado in the 1890s that was rough in this town, and then a couple different floods in the 1900s. But it does have some cool old buildings, and they had a horse show going on here, and it was nice to see a little bit of activity in the very small unincorporated community of Williamstown. As we pull into Oskaloosa, on the right, there's a collection of old buildings called Old Jeffersontown, and we're in Jefferson County now. And this is basically the county museum, and it's a collection of old buildings from all around the county. And so kind of a cool way to have your county museum. A lot of times it's just one building full of different things from all around the county, and these are actual buildings. Whether the jail, as you saw earlier, this was the general store. That's a picture of the original courthouse from Oskaloosa, and we'll see the newer courthouse coming up pretty soon. But it's really interesting, how they put this together. So you can come check it out. It's free to the public, and I was there. I was basically the only one there, and there was a couple of nice ladies that were hanging out. And I love that old water tower, because I love water towers. But yeah, it is a really cool place to stop and learn about the history of Jefferson County. And here's the aforementioned Oskaloosa. It's the county seat of Jefferson County, and we roll into the red brick-filled downtown with a lot of cool old buildings. Founded in 1856, the population has risen generally through the years. Fun fact, in 1888, they elected Mary Loman as the mayor with a city council comprised entirely of women, making it the first city in the state to elect an all-woman city administration. As we're leaving Oskaloosa, we're gonna head west. We've been going north for the most part. We need to head west at some point here. So let's go on 92. Looks like obviously there's Prairie Lake, so we wanna check out anything around there. And then we'll go up to Rock Creek and then over to Hoyt. We'll check back in there and plan the rest of our route. Ozawkie was actually the original county seat of Jefferson County in 1855, and the town is named after the Saukee Indians. In 1954, the Prairie Dam project was approved, and they had to move the town slightly to the west, and they had to move a water tower and a school and different homes, and in 1967 they incorporated the town. You can see where Prairie Lake is now, just the town on the left, and there's Prairie Lake, which is a popular place for recreation in the county. This is Hoyt, Kansas. It was founded in 1886 and eventually was along the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railroad. It was a large cattle and hay shipping point, and the railroad operated until 1980. The population has actually gone up since the early 1900s, and there's a lot of cool old buildings to check out in the downtown area. Back to the map, we're here in Hoyt. So we got a couple different options to head that direction. So let's go north to Mayetta. We'll drive through the reservation and then head over to Emmett, and then we'll kind of reassess where we're at there. As with the previous town, Hoyt, Mayetta is in Jackson County as we continue to progress through the map and check out the really cool downtown area here. It was established in 1886 and it was named after Mary Henrietta Lunger, who was the daughter of the town's founder. The population when it was first recorded is 337, and 110 years later is 348, so definitely a steady population here in Mayetta. This is called the People's Park, as we have entered the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation Reservation. And this People's Park was a pretty cool place to drive around and check out. Obviously, there wasn't very many people around, but you can tell this is probably a place where they have lots of gatherings and events. There are different booths you can set up for probably shopping, and they have historical things like old bridges, and they have places to camp and frisbee golf, so just kind of a recreation area here in the reservation. This is Emmett, Kansas, as we are now in Potawatomi County, and the post office there on the left, that old stone building, was established in 1905, kind of when the town was getting started. It was named after Robert Emmett from Ireland, and the population has always been pretty small. A high of 277 a couple decades ago, down to 170 now, but it's kind of gone up and down. Lots of cool old buildings to check out in the small downtown area of Emmett. We're about to run off this side of our map here, so let's continue heading west, because if we head south, we'll getting closer to where we've been before. Over to La Clede, and then heading west off the page. Right here at this intersection, this is about where the Oregon Trail came through, and we'll be crossing over it as it was heading kind of east-west, and we're starting to head south now. And I had done a whole series about the Oregon Trail. It was a really awesome trip, and I did it by state, so there's a Kansas portion. And so if you're interested in that Oregon Trail video, I'll put that on the screen and you can check that out. But yeah, so it's very hilly, the few parts of the drive, and this would have been when they were taking those wagons across the plains here. They probably weren't realizing it was going to be as hilly as it is, because there's definitely some hilly parts that we went through that wasn't the Oregon Trail, but a lot of this area is very similar. So yeah, purple sage and box elder at the intersection here. Very innocent, not marked or anything like that, because we're certainly been on the back roads for a while. But if you head down the road to the main area, to the main road, paved road, there'll be some stuff to check out for the Oregon Trail. We're in our last section of the map, right there where it says Box Elder. That's where we're at right now. And so we're gonna head west, crossing over 99 to Myers Valley, Flush. Definitely have to go to a town called Flush. The only dots on the map are kind of on this line right here, heading north to south, Eldon. We'll check out St. George, and then maybe Swamp Angel? I don't know. We'll see what that is. And then we'll be in Manhattan. Our final incorporated small town is St. George, and it was originally platted in 1857, named after several early pioneers named George. The town was moved in 1879 about a mile to be on the new railroad. There's a lot of great old buildings in the downtown area. There's several businesses, and the population has really exploded in the last 20 years, more than doubling in size. So it looks like this old small town that had a tiny population for a long, long time has got quite the future. We've made it to Manhattan, and it's raining. As you can tell, the skies were getting dark, and I was hoping it would hold off, and finally made it to our destination. And we started the day at Allen Fieldhouse at KU, which is like the kind of what they're known for, KU basketball. So I thought we'd finish at Bill Snyder Stadium here at K-State, and because K-State football is kind of what their tradition has, that's really, really good. So yeah, that was a fun little day. You know, you could do that trip in probably a little bit over an hour. We took like 7 hours to do that today. And but I really had fun and found some places that were really cool. You know, little places like Flush. You know, that is something I would never have gone to if I didn't do something like this. But some other really great small towns, and even places like Oskaloosa that's got 1,000 people, St. George. You know, those are really cool towns if you've never been to them. Maybe worth a little detour if you're going back and forth. And of course, if you're ever in Wichita, come down and see the Shockers. You know, we always put on a good show too. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of that video. And now that you're here, let me tell you a little bit about some of the extras that we have on the channel. One of the things you can do is you can become a member. There's 3 levels. There's the supporter level, there's the producer level, and the executive producer level. And all 3 levels have different perks, and as you are more supportive financially, there's more perks. You know, we have extra videos every week and a lot of fun stuff going on in the member section. If you haven't done so, make sure you check out travelwithawiseguy.com. We've got lots of extra stuff on there, and one of the things is merchandise. You can get you Travel with a Wise Guy t-shirt. We have Death Go Round t-shirts. We have some coffee mugs, different things that are a lot of fun, and people seem to have enjoyed. Good quality there. Also on the website, you can do things like check out the Google map. I have a pin dropped in every place I've done videos about, then a link to the video so you can look at the map, and maybe there's somewhere where you live or somewhere you want to go. You can check out that map, and it seemed to be a very popular thing. You can sign up for my newsletter. I do that about every 3 weeks. It's totally free. And there's also all kinds of other links and tidbits in there, old videos, podcasts, just everything I could think of I throw on the website. So make sure you check out travelwithawiseguy.com. Thank you for everyone who has been supportive of this channel, and thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. And now for the reason you're probably here, the outtakes. This is a sad state of affairs.